What up? One more time for your mind. Grandpa back. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment, man. Alright, so LeBron. And I'm late to this one because I didn't really want to touch it, but might as well because, everybody is add my 2 cents. So, talking about LeBron speaking on Cooper Flag going to Dallas, man. It's a sad. He's got to be like one of the more, I want to say, sensitive is overstating it. But he's just so, like, all these excuses and explanations and trying to interject yourself into situation ain't even got nothing. So anyway, he said, the statement was, Cooper Flag, he's going to a team like myself that has some Hall of Fame players, and that's paraphrasing, but he wanted to want people to feel sorry for him when he went to Cleveland the first time. When he went to Cleveland, he had some players now. They weren't all stars, but Zydrunas Ilgauskas was a player. Carlos Boozer was a player. They had Ricky Davis, him and Ricky Davis, whatever. Like a lot of them dudes, like Darius Mitchell was on that team. Ricky Davis, they weren't really, hyped to have LeBron come, so they had to, suffer the wrath, so to speak. But let me remind Mr. James that Michael Jordan went to a team with players that were on coke. That's documented. That was on the first dance. Now that was a new one to me, but I do know he had Orlando Woolridge. He had who else was on that team? I wasn't even really watching back then. In 84, 85. Who did he had? Was Dave Corzine? Corzine was on that team. Granville Waiters, I think he came the next year, whatever. Not the next year, but he was around the time I watched when Granville Waiters was there. What was that big center? The big center that he was he was up there with Wilt as far as strength. They said, whatever, man. But the point is, Larry Bird went to a 26-win team, and they won 60 games the next year. Shaq, when he went to Orlando, they was a losing team. He brought them up. Now Shaq ain't, but Shaq did his, made it known that he was a something to be dealt with, and David Robinson, when David Robinson went to the Spurs, the Spurs was a joke before David Robinson got there. And then they put the right pieces real quick around them. They put some real good pieces, Terry Cummings, all that. But a lot of these guys back in the day, if you was a first round draft pick, especially the first pick, more than likely you was gonna bring that team up. Now when it got to him, they didn't make the playoffs for 2 years. They had a watch going. And I'm saying, for his credit, when they didn't make it that second year, I think it was that second year they didn't make it. He stood up there and said that, it was something that he had to get better at. I'm paraphrasing, but they had an open watch. Like they would flash back to the games, be like, cut away from the game that was playing, and then like show you Cleveland playing. They was doing that because he didn't put the team up. And with all that stuff that was going on with them veterans and the coach he didn't like, you know what I'm saying? It was just gonna be like that. But that's the reason why a lot of us older guys can't just let this ride, because we've seen players that was billed as something, and then they was up there. Not saying LeBron's garbage. He's not. but he's not everything that they said, and he's definitely not the greatest player of all time. It's never been a player in the NBA that has had to be like pampered. And when I say pampered, meaning you have to include him in every great player talk. You have to include him in a lot of. I mean, like seeing him on the. Remember when he first went to LA and he was standing up there in the stands with Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson, like he was a GM too. But I mean, like he's supposed to, like people want to supposed to play with that. That's one of the main reasons why people don't want to play with him, man. And now he's kind of like in a precarious position, man, because don't nobody really want to play with him. They're gonna be lying to you and saying that they do. It seems like Golden State might have to take the bullet. Not Golden State. What's the other team? Might be Cleveland, might be New York. Like, but I mean, he's definitely gonna play because he got to get his farewell tour on, and that might be quicker. That might be sooner than he wants it, because from what the new owner said, referring to the new owners of the Lakers, he said that no more of this TikTok NBA player, this, that, and other. Now, who he's referring to, we don't know. I don't know, but we're gonna see how it play out. But yeah, man, that's all I got to say on that, man. Hopefully, I won't be making another video about LeBron. But I know it's only inevitable, man. So, Grandpa out.